I've been using iPhones for several years now, different models, different generations. And one thing I've noticed about the iPhone is that your actual iPhone experience doesn't really change. Now, let me explain that. Now, every year, Apple decides to add new features, improves the chip, tweaks the design a little bit. All of that is great and fantastic, even good camera improvements. But at the core essence of using an iPhone for the past several years, it still feels like the same iPhone in a sense. And that made me realize, why are people still upgrading even though they don't realize that their iPhone experience is kind of similar? Whenever I or someone tried to switch to a newer iPhone, there's an excitement, right? A new phone, a new brand new model, the unboxing, the fresh design, peeling off the layer of the screen, dopamine hits, the idea of getting something new. But then after a few days, you start to feel like, pretty much the same thing. You have the same apps that were using in the previous iPhones, your data, your contacts, the way their apps are positioned, the way that you have customized your home screen is exactly like in your newer iPhone as well. So yes, you got something new, but is it really new? The thing about getting an iPhone is that you know what to expect, which is the best and worst part. So the best part is that there is no learning curve. Your productivity is not compromised. You know exactly where the apps are. You know how you have designed or structured your iPhone, which is great for reliability. But then, did you get something new? Does it feel different in your hands or in the usage? Not really. Now here comes the $1,000,000 question. Why do people still buy or upgrade to the newer iPhone? Part of it is Apple's marketing. They make us feel like we need the new one, better camera, better battery, better design, and yes, those things matter. But at the end of the day, the iPhone is all about consistency and delivering in the right manner. Personally, for me, I don't upgrade to a newer iPhone just because the old one was bad or it stopped working. My 5-year-old iPhone still works absolutely perfect in an immaculate condition. The reason I upgraded is because I know that I'm getting something which is reliable, consistent, with a slightly better features, which I guess is not a bad thing. Now, one of the biggest things that I actually look at phones these days, regardless of iPhone, Google Pixel, or Samsung, or any Android device out there, is the camera, because that is what really matters to me. I film a lot. I shoot vlogs, I film content like this. Right now, this is being recorded on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. So camera is really important for me. Every new iPhone takes better photos, handles low light much better, more cinematic. Even with the rumors going on with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is expected to have 48 megapixel on their ultra wide and telezoom, that is going to be a big game changer for the camera team. And that is something which I actually notice and appreciate about the iPhones. But outside of my camera, my 5-year-old iPhone 12 gives me an iPhone experience. Like, there have been so many times where I use my iPhone 15 Pro Max or my iPhone 12 and I'm like, pretty much the same experience, even there's a 5 years gap, but still the overall vibe, the atmosphere is kind of the same. Or in terms of even your finger movements, right? It's, you know exactly where everything is. So it makes me wonder why I'm actually upgrading. What's the core reason behind it? Now, other than the camera aspect, which I think a lot of people are looking into it, there's also a psychological aspect. Apple is a master at creating illusions of change. They will show dramatic ads and use like revolutionary changes, the latest and greatest iPhone. We are happy to announce our best device ever created in the existence of humanity. Which I think now a lot of people know that's kind of being too dramatic, but it does something to your brain which people don't notice. The effect is called the hedonic treadmill, where we get used to any small improvement so fast that they stop feeling special. Imagine if you can improve quickly without putting in the effort, you wouldn't really appreciate that improvement, right? You would be like, it was given to me easily, and people don't respect something that they got easily, unfortunately. And so what ends up happening is that the excitement fades. You don't really feel in a way about your newer iPhone, unless you're coming from like a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old iPhone, then maybe you might have that excitement. But if you're upgrading in the past 3 to 4 years, then probably not. And yet, even after saying all of these things that I just said, I am still going to stick with the iPhone, because consistency or boring also means reliability, which is very important. I know that my iPhone will work. I know that I don't need to worry about it being slow after certain years, maybe after 10 years, probably, but after 3-4 years, I know it's still going to be running smoothly. And this is from my personal experiences after using so many different iPhones. Camera quality is insane. It's totally unmatched, unparalleled. It just gives me a peace of mind where I go anywhere outside on a vacation, on a trip, and I forgot to bring my camera, I know my iPhone is in my pocket, and then that's all I need. I don't need anything else. So while the experience doesn't change drastically over the years, maybe that's actually the point that Apple is trying to make. Maybe stability and trust are more valuable than flashy changes. So here's my honest and final conclusion. The iPhone experience doesn't really change much, and that's both a strength and a weakness in a way. If you're upgrading iPhone thinking that you're gonna get a new experience, then you'll probably be disappointed, versus if you understand that I'm getting this newer iPhone because of maybe a financial decision that I can easily sell my current iPhone model at a reasonable price, and when I upgrade it I don't have to pay a lot of the difference, then it makes perfect sense for you to upgrade. Let me in the comment section, why do you guys upgrade to the newest iPhone, or how long do you typically keep an iPhone before upgrading, and what is the number one reason that prompts you or triggers you to buy a newer iPhone? And I'll see you guys in the next video.